This video is going to be incredible. I have several Brad Garlinghouse clips. I have some David Schwartz clips. I have several clips as well. I hear discussions about financial institutions, blockchain payments, and finance. Additionally, the head of SVI is mentioning Gary Gensler. Additionally, there's this awesome video featuring Chris Giancarlo, the former chairman of the CFTCC, making a powerful statement regarding blockchain technology and institutions. You must watch the entire thing. I'll start working on it now. Come on, let's go thus. This is from Good Morning. Cryptocurrency BNE Mellon, the biggest asset custodian in the world. According to Bank, 97% of asset managers think tokenization would transform the financial industry. Tokenization is the way of the future. According to the leaders of 97% of the organizations in the world, cryptocurrency is therefore the way of the future. It's the reason we're here. Isn't that what we're aiming for? The head of BNY Mellon's digital asset products leaves real estate on January 29th, 2024. I believe that tokenized assets like XRP or Ripple will be the means via which this is. Here's a video to discuss it. If you follow where the money is flowing, you would probably agree if you transacted around. BNY Mellon is the biggest custodian bank in the world. They are the bank that your bank uses for banking, and they conducted a survey of institutional asset managers to find out what they thought about the market. The results showed that 97% of asset managers, or those with more than $1 trillion in assets under management, thought tokenization would revolutionize the asset management sector. Essentially, all of the biggest asset managers have an interest in this field. As for you, I'm not sure, but I've always been instructed to follow the money. Tokenization is of interest to all of them. What you have here is a simple explanation of tokenization for the majority of folks who are not familiar with it. In addition to the asset that is on the blockchain, you also possess the real asset. Typically, if it's a bond or stock, there is some kind of documentation that either the organization retains or you receive directly stating that. For example, you possess 10 Ripple shares or whatever it is at this rate of return. The stock or bond you own is equivalent to $1 million. Therefore, when discussing tokenization, you're really bringing that thing to life. Thus, that value is movable. The piece of paper that instantly travels from one person to another or from one institution to another occurs in real life as well, but at normal velocities, correct? The asset's value is stored on the blockchain and could take several days to reach you, or it could be transferred across via a computer system. Either way, we're talking about trillions of dollars. You are aware because you have access to equity funds, bond markets, derivative money markets, and stock markets. There are a ton of these newly developed ETFs available. You own real estate in gold and silver. You're capable with sports automobiles. You can acquire tokens for a variety of things. You know which high-end watches you're going to be able to do. I'm looking at jewelry. Imagine where we will be in 5 or 10 years when all of this value is brought onto specific ledgers. Corporations and companies will be able to tokenize the value of those companies as well. There really is no limit, and there are use cases that we haven't even considered yet. There won't be a single ledger to govern them all anymore. This value will be obtained by Quant, XLM, XDC, XRP, and some other truly incredible assets in a common interoperable environment. There's a lot of tribalization going on, and it's not accurate to suggest that XRP will have it all. You desire for it to be shared between many DLT ecosystems, since it is essentially what will make things more equitable, interoperable, and level playing fields for everyone on the planet. And this is the destination of the funds. Additionally, if you monitor both the money and the significant decisions made by important leaders, as that is typically another indicator, this one is right here. The head of BNY Mellon's digital asset product leaves to see what Ripple do. Any of you see this now? Hopefully, as you watch this now, you're thinking this is the potential. Meaning that real-world assets and tokenized securities represent the bellwether component of the market that will begin to truly take off. Are you able to see this? Are you able to see this? All right, Christian Giancarlo, the former head of the CFTC, made such a fantastic speech. I had to play it for you as it was so good. Now let's get started. This technology isn't just going to be named. Facilitate quicker, more effective financial markets and more direct, inclusive, and broader access to financing. However, it will also enable regulators to perform their duties much more effectively. The reason for this is that, at last, they won't have to rely entirely on middlemen to inform them of developments. Instead, they will be able to act as nodes in blockchains to view activity and transition from entity-based regulation to activity-based regulation. Ideally, this will provide market participants with the appropriate level of privacy. Regulators can now use our regular constitutional methods to monitor transaction flows anonymously and only when there is probable cause. Expose that and carry out their constitutionally mandated duties to stop market manipulation and fraud. Thus, this is a really great chance. We will discuss all the changes over the past week as we discuss the new architecture later. However, I believe that the one last iceberg component that needs to break through is regulators. Regulators are weak, and we must grudgingly comply with them, but I believe this person lost it at the end. Why was it necessary for you to rewind it? Permit him to complete his statement. There were quite strong regulators in place at the time that regulated through enforcement. Instead of merely stating there's got to be smoke over there, they will now be able to monitor the situation in real time and take action against the misbehaving parties. A fire is required. We must sue them and squander 3 years in court. Assist me in a second, lost billions of money in addition to us as individuals. Just to be clear, they lost us billions of dollars together, and they did it out of corruption and resentment. Simply said, without making an effort to follow the law, act morally, because everything that Ethereum accomplished is known to the public. If they were truly attempting to accomplish that, they would have launched an investigation into Ethereum. Additionally, they possess that knowledge. However, it seems to me that they are unwilling to conduct their own research. The ordinary XRP holder finds it to be a very unpleasant experience that we had to endure. And Ethereum just gets away with it, which bothers me. Since most of you don't really know what you're investing in, let's be honest, perhaps you saw a video on YouTube or received a link from a friend telling you how amazing this coin is, and you just sort of stumble into the project without really researching and comprehending it. All the essential information required to make an informed decision about investing in a cryptocurrency project, my suggestion would be for you to check Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. You have to make sure that the community and the team are having positive talks, right? The team won't be able to gather a sizable community behind them, and the token will essentially stagnate if they don't have strong access to or communication with the community. Thus, it is vital that you comprehend each of these various facets. It is imperative that you examine each of these aspects, as this is the only way to effectively identify several cryptocurrency scams. I see new cryptocurrency initiatives popping up all the time, but most of the time they have a Twitter account that was started maybe 5 years ago. Scammers purchase or hijack Twitter accounts that have one of these characteristics. You are aware of a certain audience that is older, and there is a very easy method to verify, hello, is this a legitimate project? Have you checked the website and are aware of any transactions or relationships that confirm the information on LinkedIn? You can take all of these steps to ensure that you are aware of what you are getting into. You can achieve your goal of earning enough money in the cryptocurrency market to retire, but you will need to invest the necessary time and effort into becoming a cryptonaire. If you would like to join our wonderful community, the link is in the description. We can assist you with all of that. Boom Grad Garlinghouse subtly states that a fine in the millions of dollars, not billions, will be paid this summer to conclude the lawsuit. Let me clarify that. In the context of retail use, XRP was not a token. For the institutions, the situation was different. What is the current status of that case? Thus, as of right now, the judge's ruling or the court's very explicit statement is that XRP by itself is not a security. To us, that was everything, as you can see. These are the kinds of technologies that need to be given room to sort of breathe, grow, and thrive. In my opinion, the dispute between Ripple and the SEC is basically settled, so let those technologies go on their inevitable path. The majority of that made waves. In one instance, the judge determined that an institutional sales deal constitutes an investment contract, as there is a contract pertaining to it. It was determined that those were unregistered security sales and that the contract might be a security. We're currently in the last, let's say, half mile of that marathon. And maybe this summer a conclusion will be reached. The CC requests $2 billion in sanctions. In my opinion, that will undoubtedly happen in the millions, not the billions. And in my opinion, it's just misguided to even come out and ask for that when there hasn't been any evidence of fraud, reckless behavior, or any of those